I stared at the guest list on my mother's iPad, my name conspicuously absent despite the 150 names listed in elegant script. We were sitting in her pristine living room, the one IED helped furnish after she and Dad sold their house and downsized 2 years ago. The $9,200 IED quietly transferred for moving expenses had paid for most of what surrounded us. I don't understand, I said carefully. My name isn't here. My mother didn't even look up from her phone. We had to make some cuts, Sophia. Your brother's wedding is turning into quite the event. Marcus's fiancée comes from a very prominent family. Very connected. Her parents invited their entire social circle. But I'm his sister. Of course you are, honey. She said it the way you'd placate a child. But Andrea's parents are paying for most of this, and they have certain expectations. Image matters to people like that. You understand. I understood perfectly. I'd understood my entire life. My younger brother Marcus, golden child, football star, business school graduate who'd floated through 3 failed startups on family money, was marrying Andrea Huntington, whose father owned a chain of luxury car dealerships. The wedding was set for the Riverside Gardens, the most exclusive venue in the city. Guest list, 150 of the right people. Apparently, I wasn't one of them. We do need to discuss the deposit, though, Mom continued, finally looking at me. The venue requires $15,000 upfront. Your father and I are a bit stretched right now with the remodel. She gestured vaguely at their kitchen, which they'd insisted on renovating despite my suggestions that they wait. Could you help us out? Just this once? Just this once. Like the $9,200 for moving. Like the $6,800 when Dad's car needed emergency repairs that turned out to be cosmetic upgrades. Like the $4,500 for Marcus's last business venture that folded within 3 months. $15,000, I repeated. It's your brother's wedding, Sophia. Surely you want him to be happy? Her voice had that edge I knew too well. The one that said I was being difficult. Selfish. I thought about my job as senior food scientist at Meridian Foods, a position I'd worked 12-hour days to earn. I thought about the consulting contract I'd just signed with 3 major restaurant chains, work I did on weekends. Work my family knew nothing about because they'd never asked. When do you need it? Mom's face brightened. Oh, wonderful. By Friday. The venue is holding the date, but they need the deposit or they'll release it. And I'm not invited. Her smile tightened. Don't be dramatic. We're having a small, intimate family dinner after the honeymoon. You'll be included in that. This is just about the actual wedding event. Andrea's parents have very specific ideas about the guest list composition. It's their money, their rules. Except it wasn't their money. Not the deposit, anyway. I'll transfer it tonight, I said quietly. You're such a good sister. She patted my hand, already back to scrolling through her phone. Oh, and while you're here, do you know anything about catering? Andrea's parents hired someone very exclusive, but I wanted to understand the menu. You work with food, don't you? I'm a food scientist. I develop products for. Right. Food stuff. Could you look over this menu? Make sure it sounds good. She thrust her phone at me, showing an elaborate 6-course dinner listing. I scanned it. Recognized the style immediately. This is Castellano's. You've heard of them? Heard of them. I'd consulted with Chef Castellano himself for 6 months on his new product line. I'd had dinner at his house. His daughter called me Tia Sofia. They're very good, I said simply. Well, that's a relief. Andrea's parents are paying $40,000 for the catering alone. Can you imagine? $40,000 for food. She laughed. I told your father, at least we only have to cover the venue deposit and the bar service. The bar service she'd need to book. The venue deposit I'd be paying. I left 20 minutes later, transferred $15,000 from my savings account, and sent my mother the confirmation. She texted back a string of heart emojis and "You're the best." Then I made a phone call. The next 3 weeks, I watched from the outside as my family planned the wedding I was funding but not attending. My mother posted constant updates on Facebook, dress shopping with Andrea, cake tastings, floral arrangements. Every post tagged Marcus and Andrea, her beautiful future daughter-in-law. I wasn't tagged in anything. I'd been digitally erased from the family narrative. Marcus called once, 3 days before the wedding. Hey, sophomore. Marcus. Mom said you, helped with the venue. That's cool of you. Look, about the guest list, it's not personal. Andrea's parents are kind of controlling about this stuff. It's their thing, you know? The thing you're allowing to happen. Silence. Then, come on. Don't be like that. It's one day. We'll do something after, just family. Maybe dinner? Maybe. You're not mad, are you? I thought about being mad. Anger would mean I still expected better from them. No, Marcus. I'm not mad. Good. Because I wanted to ask, Andrea's cousin might need a place to stay Saturday night. You still have that extra bedroom, right? She could crash with you. No. What? Why not? I have plans. Sophia, come on. It's my wedding weekend. Can't you just? No, Marcus. I can't just. Enjoy your wedding. I hung up. He didn't call back. My mother did, 2 hours later. What's this about you refusing to help Andrea's cousin? I have plans. What plans could possibly be more important than supporting your brother? I could have told her. About the speaking engagement I'd booked at the National Food Science Conference. About the 3 companies bidding for exclusive consulting contracts with me. About the investment opportunity in a startup that wanted my expertise. Instead, I said, private plans. You're being incredibly selfish lately, Sophia. I don't know what's gotten into you. I paid the deposit, Mom. That was what you needed from me, remember? My money, not my presents. I never said. You absolutely did. Friday, in your living room. Those were your exact words. She sputtered for a moment. Well, I didn't mean it like, you're twisting things. You always do this, make everything about you when it should be about Marcus. Goodbye, Mom. I blocked her number. Then Marcus's. Then my dad's, when he texted, your mother is very upset. Please apologize. The wedding was Saturday at 6 p.m. I was scheduled to speak at the conference at 2 p.m. I'd be 500 miles away. Perfect. Saturday afternoon, I was backstage at the conference center, reviewing my presentation notes, when my phone started buzzing. Unknown numbers. I'd given my assistant instructions to screen everything. She texted, your family is trying to reach you. Says it's urgent. I texted back, not available. The presentation went flawlessly. 200 food scientists, 3 standing ovations, for companies wanting to schedule meetings. My inbox filled with congratulations. At 6:47 p.m., my phone rang from a number I recognized, Chef Castellano. Sophia. Where are you? At a conference. What's wrong, Raphael? I'm at your brother's wedding. The one you told me about. The one where they removed you from the guest list after you paid the deposit. I'd mentioned it during our last consultation call. He'd been furious on my behalf. What's happening? What's happening is they tried to pay for my services with a credit card that declined. Twice. Then your mother tried to tell me the girl who paid the deposit would handle the final payment. When I asked where you were, she said you weren't invited. So I told them I don't work for people who treat my friend Sophia like an ATM. Raphael, you don't have to. The contract was in your name, mi amiga. You booked me. You negotiated the menu. These people thought they could use your deposit and your connections and then throw you away. His voice was tight with anger. I pulled my entire staff. We're packing up now. The guests are watching the dinner service disappear. Your mother is hyperventilating. The bride is crying. And the wedding cake? He paused dramatically. It's a specialty gelato cake. Needs constant refrigeration. We're taking our equipment. You do the math. I should have felt guilty. I'd been raised to feel guilty for any disruption to family peace. Instead, I felt nothing but a calm sense of justice. Thank you for calling, Raphael. Sophia, I'm texting you photos. You need to see this. The photos started arriving. My mother's face, pale and panicked. Andrea in her designer gown, mascara streaming. Marcus trying to talk to Raphael's staff as they efficiently packed equipment. And the centerpiece, the 5-tier wedding cake, already starting to sag in the June heat, no longer supported by professional cooling. The texts from unknown numbers intensified. My assistant called. They're calling the office now. Your mother found the company directory. She's demanding to speak with you. Tell her I'm unavailable and to stop calling my workplace. Already did. She called you some interesting names. HR is involved now. That night, I had dinner with 3 potential clients who'd attended my presentation. We talked about protein structures and emulsification techniques and market trends. I signed 2 contracts worth $180,000 combined before dessert arrived. My phone buzzed constantly throughout dinner. I ignored it. Sunday morning, I unblocked my father's number. He called within minutes. Sophia. His voice was hollow. Where are you? I'm at a conference. I told you I had plans. The wedding was yesterday. I know. The caterer, he left. Just packed up and left. Said the payment declined and he only works with you. They had to order pizza. Pizza. For 150 guests. At a $100,000 wedding. I sipped my coffee, watching the sunrise from my hotel balcony. That's unfortunate. Your mother is beside herself. Andrea's parents are threatening to sue us. The cake melted all over the dessert table. Marcus and Andrea left for their honeymoon early because the reception was such a disaster. I'm sorry to hear that. Are you? His voice cracked. Your own brother's wedding, Sophia. The wedding I wasn't invited to, Dad. The wedding I paid for but wasn't good enough to attend. Silence. You paid the deposit, he said finally. You didn't pay for, we didn't ask you to. I didn't pay for the catering. I used my professional relationship with Chef Castellano to book him at all. He's normally booked 2 years out. I called in a personal favor. The contract was in my name because that's the only reason he took the job on 3 weeks' notice. More silence. You never told us you knew him. You never asked about my work. Any of you? Not once in 5 years. That's not fair. What's not fair, Dad, is being erased from your son's wedding while being expected to fund it. What's not fair is being called selfish for having boundaries. What's not fair is my mother calling my office and harassing my colleagues because I wouldn't answer her calls. She was desperate. The wedding was. I don't care. The words came out calm, final. I genuinely do not care anymore. He was quiet for so long I thought he'd hung up. Then, what do we do now? You figure it out. Like I've been figuring it out without any of you my entire life. Sophia, please. I need to go, Dad. I have a breakfast meeting. I hung up and blocked his number again. The fallout was spectacular. My mother created a Facebook post about ungrateful children who abandon family in their time of need. 37 people commented, mostly asking what happened. She deleted the post after 2 hours. Marcus sent an email, the only way he could reach me, calling me vindictive and cruel. You humiliated us in front of everyone, he wrote. Andrea's parents think we're trash now. Her father is reconsidering the job offer he made me. All because you couldn't put aside your jealousy for one day. I didn't respond. Andrea's mother apparently told everyone at her country club that the wedding was ruined by the bride's sister-in-law's catering connections falling through. The story mutated through the gossip chain until some versions had me actively sabotaging the event. My cousin Jennifer called, we'd always been close, to get the real story. Your mom said you paid for catering and then canceled it out of spite, she said carefully. I paid a $15,000 venue deposit after Mom told me I wasn't invited to the wedding because Andrea's parents wanted certain types of people on the guest list. I used my professional relationship to book a chef who doesn't normally take last-minute jobs. The contract was in my name. They tried to pay with a declined credit card, and Chef Castellano doesn't work for people who disrespect me. Holy shit. Yeah. So you weren't even invited? Correct. But they took your money. And my professional connections. Mom specifically asked me to review the menu because I work with food stuff. Jennifer was quiet for a moment. You know the whole family is talking about this, right? Half of them think you're a monster. But Sophia, I saw your mom's Facebook posts leading up to the wedding. You weren't in a single picture. Not tagged once. I thought maybe you couldn't make it. I was erased before I was excluded. Aunt Patricia is telling everyone you're jealous of Marcus's success. I laughed. Couldn't help it. Marcus's success. The 3 failed startups? The job Andrea's father is giving him out of pity. You know how she is. You've always been the problem child in her narrative. Because I didn't need constant rescue and validation? Probably, yeah. Jennifer sighed. For what it's worth, I'm on your side. What they did was cruel. And honestly? The pizza thing is kind of hilarious. They ordered pizza. From Domino's. Aunt Patricia tried to arrange it on fancy platters like that would fool anyone. Andrea cried so hard she threw up. The photographer left early. It was a disaster. I should have felt vindicated. Triumphant. Instead, I just felt tired. I'm not trying to hurt them, Jen. I'm just done being their emergency fund while being treated like an embarrassment. I know. And you shouldn't have to explain that. They should know it. But they didn't. And maybe they never would. For weeks later, my mother showed up at my apartment. I'd changed my locks and installed a doorbell camera, so I saw her before she saw me. She looked smaller. Older. She'd aged a decade in a month. I opened the door. Sophia. Her voice shook. Mom. Can I come in? I stepped aside. She sat on my couch, the expensive one I'd bought myself, the one she'd never seen because she'd never visited my new place, and twisted her hands the same way she'd done my whole childhood when she was nervous. The wedding was a disaster, she said finally. I heard. Andrea's parents are barely speaking to us. They paid for everything else, and it's still, the pizza, the melted cake, everyone talking. Marcus and Andrea cut their honeymoon short because Andrea was so upset. She blames us for not managing things properly. I'm sorry that happened. Are you? She looked up, eyes red, because Rafael Castellano told everyone at the wedding that he was leaving because we disrespected his friend Sofia. He made it very clear that you arranged everything and we treated you terribly. He's protective. People asked why you weren't there. We had to explain that we. She couldn't finish. That you took my money and connections but didn't think I was good enough to attend. She flinched like I'd slapped her. It wasn't like that. What was it like, Mom? Explain it to me. Andrea's parents wanted a certain type of wedding. A certain type of guest list. Young, successful, connected people. They didn't think, they said. They said what? Her voice dropped to a whisper. They said you weren't impressive enough. That you work in some science job they didn't understand, and you're single at 34, and you wouldn't photograph well for their social media posts about the wedding. The truth, finally. After all the dancing around it. And you agreed. I didn't want to make waves. Andrea's parents were paying for so much, and Marcus's future depends on their connections, and I thought you'd understand. You're always so independent, so self-sufficient. I thought you wouldn't mind. You thought I wouldn't mind being excluded from my brother's wedding after paying $15,000? We were going to pay you back. When? How? You can't even pay your credit cards without my help. She started crying. Real tears, the kind that came with ugly sobs. I know we've taken advantage. Your father and I talked about it, really talked, after the wedding. We've been using you as a bank for years, and we didn't appreciate. You didn't see me, I said quietly. I was just a resource. Money and connections when you needed them. Invisible the rest of the time. That's not true. When was the last time you asked about my life, Mom? My work? My goals? My anything? She opened her mouth. Closed it. Tears kept falling. You know I just signed consulting contracts worth over $300,000? I continued, voice steady. You know I'm being considered for a VP position that would make me the youngest executive in my company's history? You know I was invited to speak at an international conference next month. She stared at me. You didn't know any of that. Because you never asked. I thought you just worked in a lab somewhere. Making food products or something. I develop proprietary formulations for major food brands. I hold 3 patents. Companies pay me $15,000 just to consult for a day. I laughed, sharp and bitter. I paid your venue deposit with money from one consulting call. Oh my God. Her face crumbled. Sofia, I didn't know. We didn't know. Because you didn't want to know. Knowing would mean acknowledging that I didn't need you, which meant you couldn't use the illusion of family obligation to exploit me anymore. I didn't. She sobbed harder, and part of me, the part that had been trained for 34 years to comfort her, to smooth things over, to be the easy daughter, wanted to back down. I didn't. I need you to leave now, I said gently but firmly. Please, Sofia. Please. Let me make this right. Tell me how to make this right. I don't know if you can, Mom. Not right now. She stood shakily, mascara streaking her face. At the door, she turned back. I love you. I know I've done a terrible job of showing it, but I do love you. I know you think you do. I really am sorry. Your father is sorry. Marcus is still angry, but he's starting to see, we all are. That's a start, I said. But I need space. Real space. And I need you to respect that. She nodded, unable to speak, and left. 3 months later, my father sent a check for $15,000 with a note. This doesn't make us even. I know that. But it's a start. We're in family therapy. Your mother wanted you to know. No pressure to join or respond. Just wanted you to know we're trying. I deposited the check. I didn't call. Marcus sent an email on my birthday. I'm sorry. Really sorry. For everything. Andrea and I are in counseling too. She sees now how her parents, anyway. I'm working on being better. Hope you're well. I responded, thank you. I hope you're well too. Small steps. My mother stopped calling my office. Stopped showing up unannounced. Started sending occasional texts, thinking of you. Saw an article about food science and thought of you. Proud of you. I responded sometimes. Not always. Jennifer told me the family gossip had shifted. Some people still thought I was cruel. But others, especially the ones who'd been used as banks themselves by various family members, were reconsidering the narrative. Aunt Patricia actually defended you at Thanksgiving, Jennifer reported. Uncle Joe made some comment about you ruining Marcus's wedding, and your mom shut him down. Said it was their fault, not yours. I almost dropped my wine. Progress. Slow, painful, uncertain progress. But I wasn't waiting for it anymore. I was building my own life. My own success. My own happiness. With or without their acknowledgement. Last week, I bought a house. A real house, not an apartment. For bedrooms, a home office, a kitchen big enough for all my experimental cooking. I sent my parents the address. Not an invitation. Just information. My mother texted back, "It's beautiful. You deserve it. Maybe someday, I'll invite them over. Maybe someday, they'll have earned it. For now, I'm enough. Just me, my work, my chosen family of colleagues and friends who see me. That's more than enough." Have you ever been treated as invisible by family until they needed something? How did you finally set boundaries? Share your story below.